Errol Spence Jr., strap season, episode 12. I got a question. Can Errol Spence Jr. stop Terrence Bud Crawford? The long wait is over. All the time we've waited. It's the ultimate battle about to take place right before our eyes. 4 belts on the line for undisputed. Something that's treasured in the welterweight division throughout boxing in general. We're going to have Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford. Strap season.
Who? You can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him.
I'm the dog of the division. I'm the boogeyman.
You can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing you.
Everyone knows I'm that guy.
You're not that guy.
I'm that guy.
Numbers don't lie, and I'm the number one guy.
You're not the number one guy.
You know, thinking about this fight, this is like our version of Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Rocky versus Clubber Lang. You know, to take it back to the 80s, the Transformers cartoon. You know, Optimus Prime versus Megatron. That same battle, you know, in a different form. You know, you got the Rottweiler, strong, sturdy. Backing up is not in the Rottweiler's vocabulary, doesn't know the definition. Then you have the Pit Bull, quick, agile, speedy, quick recovery, stamina. So this is the ultimate clash that we've been waiting for over the years. Seems like it's done. July 29th is coming to pay-per-view near you.
Ain't nobody talk from the side.
But you
Why
talk
you
to me.
Ain't nobody talk from the side. Why you gotta talk?
Well, talk to me.
It don't matter.
Talk to him.
Tell your
Talk to
nigga be
me.
quiet.
Talk to me. Don't
Tell your
talk to
nigga
him.
be quiet.
Talk to me.
Tell your nigga to be quiet.
He ain't no defensive fighter, nothing like that. He take punches.
Come to war. What do you think the way between Crawford and Spence, though?
Huh?
Do you think it changed? What do you think between Crawford and Spence?
Coffee.
Terrence Crawford, who really? You don't even know who Crawford is.
Yeah, I might not.
Ride with Spence, but I feel like Bud got the tools and he's a dog. They both got their dog, they got their grit, so it's just like, damn, I don't know. How I see it going is Bud trying to outbox him. Spence might put the pressure on, kill the body early, weigh him down at the end. Or Bud just outbox him the whole time and keep him on the outside.
This is the one. I'm going to take it from the beginning. There's so many different ways to talk about this fight, and at the same time, it's not much more you can say. Everybody on YouTube's been doing content for like 4 years on this subject, so I'm going to kind of make it easy. I'm going to start with Shawn Porter. Both of these guys had their shot at Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter, we all know, rough, rugged, agile. He's one of those guys I call a stamina king, train at high elevation. You know, so always a task when you face him. Against Terrence Crawford, the fight started as usual. Shawn Porter pressing, against all odds, not caring much about defense, kind of just taking a lot of chances. At the same time, it threw off Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford didn't know if he was, he knew he wanted to be an inside fight. He didn't know if he wanted to come from the right, from the left. He didn't know the tempo. But slowly, when he slowed down a little bit, Shawn Porter, I say about the 4th, 5th round, you saw Bud go southpaw, and he started to utilize that uppercut, the right hook, the right uppercut, just certain things that Shawn Porter, lunging head first, was running right into those shots. You know, the fight was real close in my opinion. I did have Terrence Crawford winning the fight, but if you go back, a very important part of that fight, you go back to the round right before Shawn Porter got stopped. Bomac tells Crawford, "You're down." He's up. He's winning this fight. Terrence Crawford was, he was shocked. He just repeated the same question, but he said it backwards. He said, "He's up, I'm down," and he went into a different zone. Instantly, he went out that same round, coming forward on Shawn Porter. He wasn't taking a step back. He was just leaning back. He was waiting to attack. He went out to destroy Shawn Porter that round, and that's exactly what he did, which was a big feat because nobody had ever stopped Shawn Porter. And these guys are like best friends. They go way back, 10, 12 years old. They said they'd never fight each other when they become guys in the boxing and actually start making money. They promised they'd never fight each other, but money's on the line, reputation, and both of these guys come from a strong boxing background. They've been at it for a long time, so we saw what happened. Now we scroll over, take a look at Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter determined to get to Errol, bringing it to the inside when he knows that that's Spence's bread and butter. The inside, the body work. We all know Spence. He liked to lay out those jabs. Spence has the most jabs in the division. I think he averages 30, 32 jabs per round. But at some point in the fight, I'd say about the fifth round, that's when Spence started to, I think, get the timing on Shawn Porter. Take a look right here. Stepping back, hitting him with the left hand, right cross. Take a look right here. Fire with fire. These guys in the phone booth right now. Spence not backing up. Same thing as you see. Shawn Porter taking chances. That's his thing, taking chances, and he lived with the results. And the consequences in this fight was him getting dropped by Spence. You know, this was a unanimous decision, Spence. So if we look at this fight, we can say that Crawford stopped him being the first. But still in all, this is two different guys. Styles make fights. But we look at that fight and we see the determination on both guys being a little bit strong. We want to break down the fight as we look at Terence Crawford. Strong, power punching, switch hitter, power in both hands. You know, Crawford, orthodox, southpaw, he like to deliver. The one thing, if you think of Crawford, the first thing I think of is sharp counter punching. That's Spence's biggest enemy in this fight, is the sharpness of the Terence Crawford counter punch. You take a look right here against Shawn Porter. You look against Cal Brook. You look against Amir Khan. Once Crawford gets the timing and I would say the range and the distance, you know, he is off to the races with this guy. So I would say a little bit more agile. And just to keep it honest, I think on the skill boxing level, I give the nod to Terence Bud Crawford. We talk about the strengths and the tendencies of Errol Spence Jr. You know, coming forward, never-ending jab, power puncher. Spence, what he likes to do in almost every fight, in most of his fights, he wanted to get you on the ropes. Take a look right here. Pressure, pressure, body. All you can see him doing is methodically cutting off the ring where you don't have all four corners. You have two corners. You have one side of the ring. And look right here. Walk down, continuous, continuous, walk down. Errol Spence Jr. a handful. So I'm looking at him as the brute versus Terence Crawford, the instinctive, counter-punching, power puncher.
There with Spence and obviously Crawford, who's the best fighter out of those two? Who's the king of the welterweights?
I think after seeing their fight, Porter and Crawford, I think you've got to lean towards Crawford now, you know, but styles make fights, obviously. Spence.
Good, I think, but Spence is hard, you know, he comes forward, he's smart, but Crawford, he boxes, you know, he could be a lefty too, he could be a righty, he boxes around. I think he's going to give him a lot of trouble.
Crawford reminds me of me, bro. So I'm pretty sure you know how I feel about that. Ain't nobody else gonna say that, but I'ma say it. The way he approached that shit, he don't see none of them guys. He don't care nothing about none of them guys. He got that real dog in him. That's why I say he reminds me of me. You feel me? And I just think the man can do so much in the ring. I see what Charlo can do. I see what what's the other guy? Spence can do. I see what Spence can do. But Spence hasn't shown me that he can make a lot of adjustment. When I look at Spence style, I see the same thing, aggressive, boxer. But I ain't never seen him boxing going back. I ain't never seen him use his counter-punching ability. I ain't never seen him block, make a motherfucker miss, and make a motherfucker pay.
Still in all, what more could be said about this fight? I would like to, something that's been on my mind, I feel like a lot of thinking. I feel like Spence has a lot more to lose in this fight rather than Terence Crawford. We all know Terence Crawford has the WBO title, but Spence having the other three, to me, it's just kind of like numbers. I'd rather lose one of something versus losing three of something. So I feel like we gonna get something extra special that night from Errol Spence Jr.
Smartest thing you can do is to stay away from Terence. That's the smartest thing.
You're a legendary promoter. I like that. You're a legendary promoter. I like that.
We all know different variations of Spence. The walk down Spence, but that also there's the Spence that fought Mikey Garcia, which everybody thought he'd be trying to get to the inside, and he actually played it patient the whole fight, and he outboxed the boxer and didn't really use the brute and the brawn. A little bit in the middle rounds just to touch the body, but it was back to the jab, the 1-2 consistent, and he got the win. When we talk about resumes, we all know Crawford, you know, undisputed at 140. I believe Crawford has beat his last 10 opponents by knockout. I think it's 10 or 11 straight knockouts for Terence Crawford. I would say that's very, very impressive. You know, he did beat Porter, Cal Brook, also Amir Khan. Same thing with Errol Spence Jr. You know, I'm giving a nod on resumes to Errol Spence Jr. You know, Crawford, never saw him versus Danny Garcia. We all know Crawford lost 2 times to Yordenis Ugas in the amateurs. You're not in the professional, but I think still losing twice to somebody in the amateurs says a lot. So I feel like despite the fight with Spence and Ugas, I feel it's a good warm-up probably for against the Terrence Crawford fight. Him and Crawford, you know, I would say Ugas a little bit taller than Terrence Crawford, but I think it was good practice. We all saw what he did to the eye of Ugas. We also know what he did to the eye of Kell Brooks. So that's one thing we can look for. We know that Spence liked to punish the eyes. We all know that Kell Brooks had got damaged by Triple G, but Spence still came back, re-injured that. We saw what he did versus Ugas. Matter of fact, speaking of the Ugas fight, let's take a look at that fight. Fight night, April 16th, 2020. This fight came out, you know, 3 belts on the line. Ugas having a WBA, Spence having the other 2, along with Crawford having a WBO. Fight started real close. I have to say, right from the beginning of this fight, Ugas didn't put up enough punches. Good percentages on the punches that were landing, but we could see Spence was hungry. This being the second fight for Spence, coming back off his car crash, so he was out to you know, make a statement. Some people say he could have did a lot better versus Danny Garcia coming back from the accident. So this was the fight right here for Spence to come back, show and prove, show everybody that he's still the truth, the big fish. You know, we go to that 5th round. Arrow turned it up a little bit and started coming forward, but a little bit of controversy right here as we see. You know, he kind of took his mind off the fight when he got hit and got his mouthpiece knocked out, and he kind of got rocked. Still bounced back 7th round as we see Errol Spence Jr. turned up, relentless body attack, and he got Ugas out of there. So I would like to say I think that's a really good warm-up fight for him. And I think that it says a lot saying that Ugas had beat Crawford twice. We all knew Crawford being a switch hitter. We still have a lot of questions, like how is he going to come out? How is he going to start southpaw? Is he going to come out orthodox? We all know about his instinctiveness. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to say thanks for watching Strap Season. We'll be right back at this. We've been talking about it for years, but thank you all for watching the station. Hit that like button and subscribe. Stay tuned. Strap Season just heating up. Errol Spence Jr., the big fish. Strap Season 12.